everyone. Welcome to Real Estate with Ryan and 4th of July weekend edition. We're talking about independence. Yes, we still have a country, thank God. And we're thankful for that for this July 4th weekend. And we're thankful that you guys could be with us. Real Estate with Ryan. Always talking about a little real estate, having fun. Maybe you're at the beach. I know a lot of my friends are at the beach or they're at the lake, but I hope you're tuning in to Real Estate with Ryan. And for all you guys that listen to us and watch us on social media, thank you so much. If you happen to miss it and you're at the lake, guess what? You can always listen to us on Apple Podcasts or Android or our good old friends at Facebook, YouTube, and I think we're on Instagram? Yeah, Nick, Instagram as well. So check us out there. Every week we're talking about a little real estate. The Knoxville, Tennessee market is on fire as always. And we have a good show for you today. But before we start the show, like anything else, we got to talk about our family, our friends, our colleagues, some congrats. We did a little housekeeping issues that we talk about. Congratulations to Mr. Cap on Hewitt Lane. Congratulations to them on a sale pending and their house selling over there in Hardin Valley. Congrats. Congrats to Mr. Pip, Ridgecrest Lane Loop under contract. What are we, 8, 9 offers? So pretty strong there. We just got the inspection worked out. Super excited for him. Super excited. And then Charles, we talk about this radio show. We do this every week, and we thank you guys for listening. And Charles heard us on the radio, liked to hear what we said, and just liked our show. And I said, well, it means a lot. You hear us. I always tell Nick, I laugh. I said, well, I don't think anybody listens to us. But apparently we have a couple people out there, and so we thank you guys. And then Charles decided to say, hey, give us a call, reach out. And we listed his property in Maynardville, just a gorgeous property. It wasn't cookie cutter by any means. Listed the property. A couple days later, our marketing team went to work, and 4 or 5 days on the market and multiple offers, and we got an offer way above expectations. So Charles is super happy. Congrats to you, my friend. Thanks for listening, and thanks for trusting us on such a big move. Let's see. Congrats to Regus. We have a couple of those units. I keep telling you that we're going to stop talking about Regus because it's going to be sold out. 210 under contract, 509 under contract, 313 under contract. Units are going. We're opening downstairs, the restaurants, all that's going to open right around August and September, right in time. For what? Oh, yeah, it's game time. Vols, right for the football season. We've got about 13 units left. If you want something front-facing, don't. The only one we got left is 418. Side-facing, 515, and we still have some 2-bedroom units. I believe we're sold out of our last 1-bedroom, but if we do, we may have one left. So if you want to check out more about Regus, go to ryancoleman.org. Top of the page, we've got all the units available. You can walk through from the comfort of your home right there on your website and in your bottom screen. So let's talk about today. Got a great show for you. It's 4th of July. It's Independence Day. We talk about having a country. There's thoughts of that some people don't want us to have a country, and independence are what all of our founding fathers gave this great nation. So, we're talking about the housing market. I said, what's a better show to talk about the housing market? So maybe you're not in the real estate. Maybe you're just tuning in, and like everything, there's a lot of news today. And we're talking about the real estate market. So if you're following the Knoxville market, it's hard not to watch that as a whole, we have less homes on the market, just less homes. We've got more buyers than ever, combination of the pandemic for the last year that built up, and people are relocating. We're getting a large, strong haul from certain states across the country. You probably know a couple of them that are coming to East Tennessee. They're now finding out what we've known all along, why East Tennessee is one of the best places to live, retire, or raise your children, and we plan to do that all here. And excited for our new friends coming to East Tennessee. I tell everybody that the first thing you have to do in East Tennessee is get you some orange. You'll blend right in, just get the Vols, get some orange going. There's got to be that room in the house. You've got to make it your Vol memorabilia. You got to have the stadium. You got to have the pictures. And my daughter says you got to have Smokey, man. You got to have Smokey. But going back to what we were talking about on the show so there's limited inventory. Is that just the market? Is it just COVID? There's combinations and thoughts of that. But news articles were out the other day by Wall Street Journal, some other different news cycles that talk about the middle class and that the one side of the party is looking to eradicate the middle class. And that's turning us into a renter of nations, a nation of renters. There you go, tongue-tied. And that's reality, is because the American dream, as it's July 4th, that is the American dream, right? Everybody wants to raise their family, purchase their own home. That's been the American dream for a while. And have a backyard. Maybe you don't have a backyard, but have a place called home. And we've talked in the show about how important a home is. It's not just whether you own it or what it's worth. It's where you raise your families. It's where you watch your daughter grow up. It's where you watch your infant take their first steps. Maybe it's where you met you and your spouse, and it's your first house together. And maybe it's where you're retiring and you spent 50 years together and you raised your kids and your grandkids. It's bigger than anything that you can think of. And it's huge. And now there's an attempt in this market coming out of COVID to eradicate the middle class. They said home sales have increased over 28% over the last 18 months. And we have a middle class market, we'll say $350 to maybe be $500,000, that class of that particular property is in competition with our normal day buyer. A normal day buyer is your average buyer. They've come from an apartment, they've come from a smaller home, and they're moving up. They need more space. So there's companies out there now named BlackRock, Invitation Homes. You guys have probably seen those signs out there. It says, "We buy homes for cash," the yellow signs, combination of, different signs on the internet or on the web. Well, these guys are buying a lot of properties all throughout the U.S. Some of these homes never, ever close. Some of these properties nobody ever even lives in, right? And they're buying them from the public. So it's a bidding war, and they're going in buying homes from cash up front. Some are as much as 20% up front. Competition has no chance. And in some cases, they're even buying subdivisions. Company Blackstone Group has agreed to buy companies that buys and rents single-family homes in a $6 billion deal. Wall Street believes the housing market is going to stay hot. Home Partners of America, Inc., which owns over 17,000 homes throughout the U.S., partners and buys homes, rents them out, and offers its tenants a chance to eventually buy. The deal has been reported earlier by the Wall Street Journal. The U.S. home sales have soared at the last year at their record pace in 14 years, with low mortgage interest rates and the rise of remote working from the pandemic. The median home price for existing homes has topped $350,000 for the first time in May, the National Association of Realtors said on Tuesday. The supply-demand imbalance will not be fixed overnight. And Blackstone was one of the biggest investment firms to buy houses in a bulk in the aftermath of the subprime crisis, when the lenders sold off foreclosed homes at marked down prices. The New York firm built a portfolio of tens of thousands of single-family homes, then rented them through a company called Invitation Homes, Inc. In 2019, Blackstone exited from the single-family rental business and then sold its last share of Invitation Homes, which has become the largest U.S. firm in the industry to have 80,000 homes for lease. So, if that tells you anything where we're going, we have big corporations buying here in Knoxville, Tennessee. They're strong in Texas and a lot of different other places, but they're going in purchasing homes. And that is what's leading to a bidding war. That is what you're seeing as we're helping some great clients where we go try to find a home. As you've seen it, first day on the market, here's an offer, here's a second offer. And one of our great clients said, it's like we're bidding in a silent war, a silent auction. So we have properties, you give them an offer, and what do they say? Well, we'll probably talk more about this in the second part of the show, but we're getting to where there's multiple bids. Sellers have an opportunity to pick the best. And then now we've got corporations coming in that the average buyer doesn't even have a chance. There's no competition. And so not as much, we don't see it as much in Knoxville, but it's here, okay? And we're seeing that across the U.S. So what happens when we buy all the affordable housing throughout the U.S. and then they turn around and make them rentals? Do we become a renter nation? Is that where we're heading? It looks to be what is on the table. Look, we're talking about a lot of this. We're talking about July 4th edition Real Estate with Ryan. Thank you for tuning in. We've got a break coming up. We're going to talk more about this here. Stay tuned.
Knoxville and East Tennessee. The region is known for its rolling hills, rivers, and lakes. There's no better place to work, live, or raise a family. Home is where your story begins. Buying or selling your home is a big decision, and you need a real estate team you can trust.
I'm Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty, your hometown experts. Whether you're buying or selling a home, let us develop a winning game plan for you.
Hometown Realty is East Tennessee's #1 real estate group and a proud sponsor of the Vols.
Your friend promised we wouldn't be homeless.
He promised. He's doing everything to fix it.
You need to call and have him fix it now.
Hey, man.
Found us a house.
No, not yet. Let me call you back. We're working on it.
Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty.
He says he's doing the best he can do, honey.
Well, he's taking too long. I knew we should have gone with Ryan Coleman.
Choosing the right agent is never easy.
Call your hometown experts. We'll take care of all the details and make sure you don't get stuck in a motel. All right, guys, back with Real Estate with Ryan. We're talking about July 4th edition, and I hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. And we're talking about the housing market. We're talking about the craziness that we're dealing with and the lack of inventory and what's happening to the inventory, who's buying it. But I want to tell you about a couple properties I have first that are coming soon. We've got 1940 Blackcomb Lane, and Backcomb Lane. I can't read my board here. $2 million plus cabin, 40 people it sleeps. 2 separate structures, pool. It's a beautiful cabin. It's going to hit right after July 5th. I think we're on 5th or 7th, I think, Nick. And so it's going to come on right after the holiday. You want to check it out. We've got it on Zillow. We got it on ryancoleman.org as a coming soon. Make sure you check it out. Income producing machine. I think last year, $276,000 in rental income. And I think he's got on the books combined last year to present, I think it's somewhere upper of $400,000. So if you're looking for that 1031 option this year, you need an investment property, we have those for you. We do a lot of those and love to help you. All right. So some cabins that have not sold yet. And if you were looking for deals or inventory or investments, make sure you check out 4303 Lock Ridge. Beautiful cabin. Rocky Top, 1339 Rocky Top in Townsend, right there in the heart of Sevierville, Gatlinburg area. And beautiful views, good layout. Check that one out. And then 4402 Creek Falls on the market as well. Check those properties out. You can visit those at ryancoleman.org. Thanks for everybody voting Best of Knoxville. We're nominating that every week. Make sure you keep us up in the loop. If you know somebody, you know, that guy maybe is on the weekend every weekend, your realtor, your team at Hometown Realty, give us a vote, man. It means the world. It's always selected by the people. I say my family, man, and it means a lot. Your vote of confidence means everything. We know there's a lot to choose from, and we're honored for your vote. So we're trying to keep that going for several years running, and we'll see how that goes. So let's see, get back into the show. So we're talking about the housing market and really just how everything's going. And we're talking about BlackRock individuals, companies purchasing properties and actually competing with the average buyer. And what does that do? What does that do to the marketplace? What does that do? How does it affect it? I'm curious to what your thoughts are. If you're in the housing market now, if you're thinking about purchasing a home, that's exciting, right? It's exciting to buy your first house or maybe even upgrade. What if you're building? How has that affected you with building cost and prices all across the country skyrocketing? Everywhere you look, there's a shortage and everything costs 10 times the cost. I was going by a friend of mine's dealership the other day, and I know that they were looking for cars, and he offered to possibly wanted to buy mine and said, hey, it's a great opportunity to sell. Well, I drove by the lot the other day. They had signs out that said, hey, we're looking to buy your car, even if you don't have a trade. I said, goodness gracious, the lot was bare. So everything's short. And, but what does that mean to you guys? How long will this last? I'm always curious your thoughts. So if you catch this show live on the radio, or you catch us on a podcast, or you catch us on social media, hey, drop me a DM, drop us a message, reach out to the office, go to my website, send an email. What's some of your questions in the market? What can we answer live on the radio? What can we cover with you? Or if you just have a question, just shoot me an email or a text or whatever you need, and we'd love to answer that for you. My thought on the housing market, like all good things, I think it's a good thing if you're a seller. I think it's a bad thing if you're a buyer. But all things come to an end. I don't think the economy can continue to sustain the cost level of inflation that we're dealing with. The prices are rising dramatically. Me and Nick were talking about the worker environment. Have you had the experience of anybody trying to work? I know we're hiring for probably 6 positions over here. So finding people that want to work, coming off a lot of the government incentivized or programs that were allowing those to end here. And that kind of ties into kind of what we were talking about recently as well. So the Supreme Court recently was talking about the moratorium on eviction. So if you own investment properties or you're a landlord, you understand that with the pandemic, a lot of these programs were there to kind of help keep people in place and renters in place. But the Supreme Court Tuesday refused to lift a ban on evictions for tenants who have failed to pay all or some rent during the coronavirus pandemic. The vote was a 5-4 by the court to lift the nationwide moratorium on evictions for the Center of Disease Control and Prevention. The Alabama Association of Realtors have challenged the moratorium. Justice Brett Kavanaugh, who cast the fifth and deciding vote, wrote a concerning opinion not to end the eviction program, only because it was set to expire on July 31st. So there you go. They've not lifted that. It's supposed to set on July 31st. I know a lot of these different programs are set to expire. How is that going to affect the job market? How is that going to affect the housing market in general? A client the other day asked me regarding with what we're dealing with now. So we've got these big corporations buying properties. They're competing against, our consumers or average buyers. We have, limited workers. Everything's slower. This is not a knock on anything, but this gives you kind of an indication of what we're seeing. So we have cleaners that help us in office and home, and they are feeling the same struggle and kind of finding people to work. And they show up and they got, the bottom floor done. And, I don't have a huge house or anything. It's not, it's not 10,000 square feet or anything, just average home. And they got the first floor done and then they didn't come back. And then we got the electricians out doing something and they're gone for 3 weeks. Then we got the plumbers come out and they show up and they didn't come prepared. Then they come back and then they don't come back. So what we're seeing across the board is what everybody's saying is we're just struggling finding people. So that everybody's bouncing around to jobs to keep things going, to kind of keep people happy, to appease them so that they don't lose all the business. But what is that going to do for your business as an overhaul? What is that doing for the whole economy? How are we seeing that affect us? I think we're seeing that, and we're going to have to struggle with that as business owners. And I think we're going to, as consumers, going to still, the consumer's right. You guys looking to buy or sell a house, we sell your property, we're looking to help you find something. And I say, hey, I sold your house, but I'm going to be with you in a week, maybe 2 weeks, and maybe we'll help you find a home. Oh, by the way, you need to be out in 60 days. Oh, boy. I know everybody's big on reviews. I wonder what kind of review I'd get for that. You can't do that, but that's challenging. So I understand, because I'm a business owner, of keeping the right people, promoting your company, and having new strong talent come in. It is challenging. So I think in the last 2 years, we are seeing things that we've never seen before. Hopefully we can all stick together, have a little patience, have a little understanding. And if you get good people to work with, at the end of the day, it's hard to find good people. You want to keep them on your team. I always say, look, and if you're interested in hiring somebody to sell your home, there's a lot of people out there. We're honored to talk to you and help you. If we can never be of value, don't worry. You don't have to pay us anything. Don't worry about that. We're always here for you. But we're experts in the marketplace because we spend the time, and it's relationships over transactions. It's not about how much we can make on a sale. It's about how we can help you. And we build our business that way. That's why we do our radio show every week, and we thank you guys for listening. So, it's as we close the show down, the time always goes quicker than I can expect, and we get to rambling over here, but it's 4th of July weekend. It's a big weekend with everything that's gone on the last couple of years. Our independence is on the line. There's people in this country that don't like this country. There's people that don't like America, and there's other countries that are jealous of America. And there's a lot of people that gave their life for this country. There's a lot of people that still give their life, put their families at risk for freedom to be able to say what you want to say, to be able to do what you want to do, and to have a country where you believe in them, and a nation where we're working together, not against each other. And it's one nation under God, right? Indivisible. What? With liberty and justice, right? And so that's what we're looking for. This weekend, Real Estate with Ryan, everybody at Hometown Realty, we're thankful for all you guys that have fought and died for our freedom. Thank you for listening every weekend. Real Estate with Ryan every Saturday. Happy July 4th. We'll see you next weekend.